Hello everyone, it's Fred again from Notes of a Nomad, video number 324. Today I want to talk about emergency preparedness. I've been a member of emergency support services since 2009. So for the past 17 years, I've learned a lot and done a lot. For example, in 2017, when 65,000 people were evacuated from the interior of British Columbia, the province that I live in, I spent a couple of weeks helping some of the evacuees who weren't able to get into their homes for more than a month, if not 2 months. And so they needed assistance. And that's what emergency support services for the province of British Columbia. There's volunteers who do it here. Other provinces and other parts of the country maybe do it with government employees or maybe hire organizations such as, say, the Red Cross to handle that. But in this province, it's volunteers. And I find it very rewarding. I've also helped with the call center. So where people would phone in and they've been evacuated somewhere in the province and they're trying to get help, and we can, help them answer questions where they can go and what they can do. So I've worked in the call center on occasions during big evacuations in the province. It's normally, in those cases, it's normally forest fires, but also locally. I handle what we call a level one call out. When the fire department goes, there's a fire in the house, the people, the residents in the accommodation are not able to get back in because there was a fire. So we assist them with some accommodation and any other incidentals or clothing and food because they are stuck. They cannot get back into their homes. So those are the sort of things we do. And I've learned a lot. So with the recent fair, we have this particular past weekend, we had a local fair where we try and meet the public, invite them, show them, there's fire trucks and all sorts of demonstrations and things, giveaway and draws and things for the children, but also just to make people aware on how they should be prepared. So, for example, these were some of the, there's hazardous material truck, here's a large tower, for multi-story buildings, etc. So all of this is on display. This is for preparedness for the fact that we could have a earthquake. So this is an earthquake simulator. You can sit in it and feel what an earthquake is like. And you say, why do they do that here? Well, this is an earthquake zone we live in, and that could happen unexpectedly anytime. And you may not be able to get back into your house because it's been damaged by the earthquake. So those are the sort of things we're trying to make people aware of and become prepared. Search and rescue have display. A couple search and rescue organizations, even the Coast Guard, had one of their small boats there. So myself and Jill were talking to some of the people about how to get prepared. And one of the things we often mention is to get a grab and go bag. And what should you have in your grab and go bag? Because all of a sudden you're not able to, you have to get away from your house. And if you have this bag with like bottled water, some food, first aid, some clothing, flashlight, some important documents, like even your insurance policies, some of the information, maybe copies, photocopies of some of your items you haven't been able to, you had to rush out, but at least you've got a copy of it and that can happen quite easily. A radio, your mobile phone and chargers, and some cash. Maybe you haven't got your credit card for some reason, but at least you got some cash. There's a lot of examples of what can be put on and can be put into a grab and go bag. You can buy them, like Amazon will sell you an emergency bag, but it won't have your documents, it won't have cash in it, so you want to personalize it. So those are some of the things that we discuss with the people while we're meeting them. So emergency preparedness is something that no matter what it is, where you should consider. It's obviously different in different parts of the country. Some countries have regular floods. Other people have more predominant forest fires. So they will be more prepared. But you might just find you have a house fire, a kitchen fire. And now we get called out quite often in emergency support services here locally when that happens, or maybe the pipe broke and their house is flooded and they're not able to get back in. So with those sort of things, You want to be prepared to the best of your ability. And also, you can register in this province, you can register with the government. So all of your information is there, and there are facilities for emergency support services online. And if you're registered, it's much easier to get assistance rather than having to line up in a, long line of people who need assistance. If you've already registered online, it can be very helpful. So those are the sort of things we promote at the Emergency Preparedness Fair. So think about it. You never know. Maybe it's something you want to look up online. There's lots of information on just preparing a grab and go bag, or maybe registering with your local government facility if they have facilities like we do in British Columbia. So with that, I'll say adios, au revoir, wishing you, your family, and friends lots of love and laughter. Bye for now. Till next time, from Fred and Notes of a Nomad.